Hey guys, Tom of Green Mountain Projects here, bringing you a pretty sweet video on doing a little firearm customization. What I'm going to do is I have a paint product called Brownells Aluma-hyde. This stuff is great for basically the DIYer who doesn't want to pay $100 bucks to get their stuff Cerkoted. This is a quick, easy, can do it at home paint, and it holds up really well. I've done it on a few of my guns already, and I've been very impressed with how it holds up. So first we'll start with the shotguns. Pretty simple. So basically, this is my shotgun. It's a Mossberg 940 JM Pro competition / my hunting gun when I put a big ass plug in it. To get it to this point, first thing is getting the stock off, which is actually a lot easier than you might think it is. Every shotgun has a stock with these little holes in the top and one on the bottom. All you gotta do is stick a Phillips screwdriver into the hole like this, and you'll be able to turn that screw that anchors it into the stock itself. So you can see this is my stock, and that's where it screws into. Once you get this off, next to do is to get off this stock bolt. You can see right here, your stock will be slid over this rod. Whoops. And then you'll have the bolt here that'll have your stock tight. Take the bolt off, pop the stock off, you're all set and ready to go. Now, some are different. This shotgun, it's a little Turkish gun my wife uses, and granted it is a youth size for her, but it's a whole bolt that just screws into the back of the receivers. Now, as far as taking it down and getting the barrel off, say this gun, basically I have my extension tube here, which would be the same as if you just had the normal plug. You just screw that off. It does that. And this is my homemade wood dowel plug, so I'm not hunting illegally. And then basically you got a little crush nut, and then your barrel should slide. Whoa! Your barrel should slide right off like this. And there you go, and your barrel's free. I do have an extended choke on this. I'll probably leave the choke because it's something good to tape to. I'll remove the fiber optic sight on this. Now, as far as getting down the rest of these parts, you're going to want to take these off. And if you don't take your guns apart often, you don't remember the sequence all these parts go into, I would definitely take a picture of it right now so you have a good memory of it. I've done this many times, so I'm not too worried about that. Now, once you've taken this down, you're going to want to take the bolt out. You're going to pull out the charging handle, and your bolt will slide out, just like that. Also, this little cap that is underneath the spring, that will also freely be able to fall out. You might as well take that off and put it safely with the rest of the parts. This thing's pretty close. You're going to have to take out your trigger group, which is just going to be, you're going to have to use 2 punches, pop out these 2 pins here, and then this whole part pulls out. I got my punches right here. Pins start to pop out. Trigger group comes right out. Nice and easy. Now, next gun I take down is going to be this Ruger American hunting rifle. Pretty freaking easy. There's 2 hex bolts. You take your magazine out, then you have your magazine well plate. You unscrew those 2 hex bolts. You remove this trim piece. Once those bolts are out, this thing will lift right out. Now, last but not least, we're going to go about taking apart our handgun. So basically, this is a SIG M17 320 model. They're basically all the same. Super simple. We're going to be taking the slide off, taking the slide components apart. You are going to want to take out things like your mag release, and I do have a mag well funnel on the bottom. I'll have to pop that off unless I want it to be painted as well, but I'm going to keep that black. Now, first thing I'll show you is how to remove the optic. Pretty simple. You have, on this one, it's a top-mounted optic, which makes it a lot easier. On the factory slide, you are going to have to do the screws from the inside, which will include you having to take out the ejector pin, which you just push it in. You push it and hold it. Your back plate's right in here. You slide the back plate out once you're holding it in, and then after you slide it out, then you can just pull this pin out. Your ejector, which is this little piece here, will come right out. Once you get that out, you'll be able to access the screw that's hidden underneath the ejector pin. The other screw you'll have access to. And then you pull this straight out, and this will come right out. So now, it's pretty bare except for the front sight. You can either take your front sight post off, or you can tape it off. Now I'll walk you through taking off the rear optic. If you have a holographic of some type, I got my Allen key right here that fits it. This one's easy, they're top mounted. Some of them are bottom mounted, and that will remove your optic. And then last but not least with this is we're gonna have to get this compensator off the front of this barrel. After you take out the 2 screws that secure the compensator in place, those are basically so that it's lined up correctly, so your compensator is not on the gun tilted. You're gonna wanna rotate this, you turn it off counterclockwise. This is the first time I'd taken this compensator off, so it is actually really hard to turn off. I ended up putting it in a bench vise. I padded it really well so it wouldn't hurt the gun, and then also padded this and used a wrench on it. See, there's a lot of thread locker on that. That's how you get this off. And now your compensator's off. Your barrel can be removed, put to the side. Next is taking this down. And take off your mag well if you got one. Assuming most other gun models are probably pretty similar. Attachment method. Next, taking out your whole trigger group. Pulls out. And then you're going to push this up and out. Remove your trigger group. Put that aside. So last thing to take apart on this is your magazine release. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to push in your magazine release completely. So basically this is 2 pieces. It's hard to see, but there's a line in the middle. You're pushing this in and it's catching that front piece so you can pull the front piece out. So basically what you want to do is you want to get that little bottom part pushed up, pry out this little piece, and then this will pull through. Make sure you don't lose. There's a little spring in there. Pull it out. You see a little spring. You don't want to lose that. Put that aside. So remove the Talon grip, and then this thing's ready to get sanded down, roughed up, and painted. Coming over here, these are all of our parts that we will be prepping for paint next. All right, guys, now we got our parts all taken apart and we're ready to get to the blasting process. So, well, before we can do that, I want to prep these things because obviously we don't want to be blasting everything on these. For example, sight posts, the way I protect the inside of these is by stuffing paper towel into them. So as far as this is my bolt gun, I'm going to definitely cover up this whole trigger area, protect it with some thicker Gorilla Tape on this. I'll shove some shop towel up into the chamber to protect, shove something into the barrel, probably some shop towel as well. Same with the shotgun barrel. As far as the slides along with iron sights, I am going to tape off the insides of these. I don't want to mess with any of this. So this will stay this color. Obviously you won't see it when it's all put together. Alright guys, we got all of our stuff sandblasted. As you can see, that worked really well. I did just take my air gun, I blew this stuff out, pulled all the paper and stuff out of it because I wanted to make sure there wasn't trapped sand, which there was, just because it gets everywhere. So it's super clean now, except for I need to now use a parts cleaner. You can get a spray can of brake clean. I also have a can you can dip stuff in. Just really try to get this in every nook and cranny. I always wear gloves to make sure that as I'm doing this I'm not getting skin oils on it afterwards, so that the paint has the best chance of having a really good bond. Also, getting the inside of this a little bit is good just because when I tape off the inside, the tape will stick a whole lot better if it's degreased. All right, guys, check it out. We're complete here. We got everything painted up, and it came out really nice. Pull this off. You can see the brown, but that'll be all hidden when you put the gun back together, obviously. But I just didn't want to get paint in these areas. Big fan of this Aluma-hyde. It just dries and hardens so nicely. It'll just be nice and smooth. If there was any like runs, they just level themselves right out. Now that we got all the parts painted, now it's time to start reassembly, and then we're gonna get to see how sweet these things look now with their new colors. All right, guys, we got the guns all back together now, and let me tell you, these things came out sweet. I love this OD green on this M17. Got my iron sights slide, my personal shotgun. We have my 308. My hunting rifle just did this nice earth brown, and then my wife's shotgun in the background. We just redid it black because it had some rust on the barrel and some pitting. Overall, guys, this stuff comes out really good. It holds up really well. You can't scratch it off with a fingernail, especially if you let this sit for like 2 weeks before really handling it. It will be dry to the touch, so you can hold it after about an hour. Like I said earlier, you don't have to sandblast this. You can easily do this by roughing it up with sandpaper. The sandblasting will definitely give you the best adhesion possible. I hope this helps you out if you're looking to do something like this yourself. Stay tuned for more videos like these, and thanks for watching.